sick hot glue gun skills. We'll slip in there, cutting this, pressed right up nicely in there. Very nice. Hello, once again, staying late working on some car bits at work, and recently I've been working on some lock mods for the Sierra, the Jelly Slider drift car. They're notoriously bad for having not a lot of lock, and the front geometry is not great and the back geometry is not great for drifting. But I've been working closely with David at DA Performance Engineering, and myself, his friend Tony and Adam. We've been obviously batting about some ideas for these lower arms, and I wanted to do kind of like a wires fab style arm, picking up on the compression strut mount and the TCA mount. So basically I've drawn up roughly where I think it should be, and I've added a little bit more camber so it'll knock the bottom of the wheel out a bit. Obviously we've got the top mount so we can pull a bit more camber or adjust the camber out and sort out a bit more caster. But more importantly, where we had the compression struts, the wheels actually whack into them on full lock. So the idea is we're going to modify some 3-door hubs, sacrilege I know, but it's got to be done, shorten the steering arm, and then that'll give us the lock, and then we need some more clearance on where the compression strut was. So this is where we've got to. I've drawn up like a, as I said, like a single piece thick plate lower arm, and then I have, with the measurements that Adam got from off the car, I've then cut it, CNC cut it with the machines that we got to work out of some 12mm thick MDF, so that then we can use that as like a template test piece, bolt it in the car, probably take the spring out, check that everything kind of travels and looks like it's all in the right place and everything clears everything. And then with that done, if we have to tweak the cut file we can, and then we'll laser cut a bit of 12mm mild steel, and then I'll cut loads of triangles out of it to give it a bit of a lightweight look. But this is where we're at the moment. So this is the MDF shape. This is I think it's an Amiga, Vauxhall Amiga ball joint, which will just bolt on the end there. And then I've got these rose joints from Comp Brake with the bolts. And then I've got our guy Carlo, the engineer, to machine up these threaded little sleeves. So the rose joint winds down into that. I need to get some locking nuts for these because Comp Brake didn't send them. But basically, for now, I'm just going to hot glue that into there, and then nice tight fit, and then give it to Adam to take over to the car, and then he can check that that is going to fit and everything looks like it's kind of in the right place, and obviously make any notes on the MDF or trim the MDF where it needs to be, so that then I can tweak the cut file. So yeah, with that I think we're going to need extensions on the steering arms, and then Adam's bought some reamers because we've got a 3-door hub that's damaged where the taper goes in the bottom for the ball joint. So yeah, he's got a reamer that allows us to fix that with an insert, and then we're going to do some, yeah, as I said, shorter steering arms so we can use the reamer on that, because I think it's the same taper on the ball joints on the steering. So yeah, this is going to be pretty sick. That's the plan. As I said, we'll just check that this all lines up and looks right, and then we can actually burn it out with some 12mm mild steel. So yeah, just going to hot glue these in so they are ready to trial fit. Blob it in with a glue gun. How long do you reckon the MDF would last if I ran it on that? Don't worry, it's lightweight, so it's proper race car grade. Sick hot glue gun skills. Right, go and drop this off at Martinez. Then we can see where we're at. Also, one of my mates, Dan, his girlfriend, she used to race in the Fun Cup, which is like a space frame Beetle engine in the back, and they had a load of spare wheels left over from when she used to do the race series, and he said, do you want them? And I figured, yeah, why not? They're wide 15-inch steels, diamond racing wheels. So he dropped off a load of these, and I kind of took a punt on it because I figured it's multi-fitment. I thought one might be a 4x108, but unfortunately I've got 4x100. Obviously it's a Volkswagen based series, so 4x100 makes sense. The other PCD is 4x, I think it's 113. So it won't fit on the Sierra because obviously I was looking at these with these pretty decent rain tyres for skid wheels on the Sierra. So my theory is I don't want to not use them, and just for skid wheels I reckon I could modify the PCD to fit 4x108 with a Ford. So what I'm going to do, the plan is grind back these raised bits and obviously pick a stud fitment and oval it out, sausage holes, Caleb will be proud. And then I've laser cut this, which is a centre location on a Ford hub, and then it's got 4x108, so then that will slip in there. I bought a 60-degree countersinking massive drill bit, so I've then spent a little while on a pillar drill, drilling them out, and that means that now I've got the taper for the bolts to locate. That's going to slip in there, and then I've built this little locating device out of stacked pieces of 5mm mild steel, and that will then locate the middle of the wheel, and then I can use that to locate nice and tightly the middle of the disc, and then I'll probably bolt that down with it all referenced, tack it, and then I'll just go around and gun it. And my theory is you're never going to pull that through once that's welded onto the wheel. And for skid wheels, once I touch that in with a bit of black, I think they'll be good to go. And I think I've got about, I don't know, 7 or 8 of these. So yeah, pretty handy. Obviously it's some hours spent doing it, and I wouldn't obviously use them on the road, but for sliding around track and going to Birmingham and Santa Pod, I reckon they'll be mint. Plus they're a good size for 15-inch tyres. And as I said, when we're running 13-inch tyres, they're just too much of a little biscuit for, I think we need more grip on the back. So yeah, that's the plan. That'll keep me busy. Something to do. Okay, so Adam took the first iteration of the MDF template over to the car, and after we'd hot glued in the little inserts, he offered it all up, and then we made a few adjustments to that design. Basically, we decided that it didn't need to bow in so much. The original chassis rail sat about here, so we changed the shape a bit, tweaked a little bit at the end, and gave us a little bit more meat up here. But obviously it's really close on the cross member when it runs through the travel, so we want to make sure that we clear. Yeah, you can see here where he's marked it. It needs quite a big cut out there for the actual cross member to sit. So that was Mark 1, and then this was Mark 2. So you can see it's a little less of a banana shape. Still got loads of clearance on the wheel because obviously the original compression strut would go sort of at this angle. Obviously you had to do a bit of repair work because the hot glue failed whilst we were pulling it about and testing it all. And so again we made a couple of alterations from this design, and then Dave at DA Performance Engineering cut these out for us out of 12mm mild steel, complete with the little Willy logo. Next step is to get our little inserts, get them to fit in there, and weld them up, and then powder coat them, and then we can concentrate on the hubs. Now the hubs, as I said, we got 3-door hubs, and don't ask me how, but Barton's managed to acquire quite a few of these. So this is a decent one for reference. We're going to give this to Carlo, the engineer. So it's got a taper in there. I was wrong, the tapers on the ball joint are different to the steering arm. So if you compare this 3-door hub, you can see that it's a bit... Is it this one? Look at this one. That's this one. You can see that it's a bit wooged. So the plan is to, and I think that even the steering one's a bit knackered. So the plan is we've got drawings that Barton's found all the original specs on the hubs and sizes, so I'll give that to Carlo because he'll love that. And then we've ordered up reamers from the States. So we have got two reamers, one to do the ball joint and one to do the steering arm. And yeah, hand all this over to Carlo, and I don't know whether he'll probably do an insert that we can press into this. So yeah, that'll give us a decent hub, a usable hub that we can then shorten the steering arm on. So we're going to be cutting this and re-engineering this to bring the pivot point closer into the hub, which then gives us more of the much needed lock on a 3-door Cosworth hub. Mental. The plan is, I'm going to nick back this little web a bit, give us a bit more clearance, clean up this a bit better, and then I'm going to build this area up with weld, and then Carlo's going to skim it, surface it, and then we're going to move this hole 20mm further up the arm. I'm going to try and heat up the casting a bit before I weld it. It'll also help get some of the impurities out of it. Just going to blob it in. So that's both steering arms built up with some weld, and I'm just going to drop these off tomorrow morning to Carlo, the engineer at AR Valley & Sons, and hopefully he's going to work his magic. Yeah, he's probably going to like machine the top layer off and find out that it's like an aero bar inside. Right, next up, we're going to clean these up. A little bit of a burr from the laser, but that is a really nice laser cut edge on that. I don't know if you can see that. And then I just need to, I've already started on this one, just grinding this out to get my threaded inserts that Carlo machined up pressed right up nicely in there, and then yeah, scurf this all up and then blob it all in. Yeah, so that's them all welded up. I might just TIG the ends carefully because there's a couple of little gaps on that. But yeah, got some good heat in there. Looks like I've got some good penetration, so hopefully they ain't gonna break on me. But if they do, it'll make it for an awesome YouTube video for you guys. Okay, so that's the lower arms done. All powder coated in a fresh popping sparkly silver, and yeah, all the rose joints winding all right. I did have to clean out a couple of the threads with a tap at Carlo's, but yeah, we're now ready to sort the hubs out. Pretty happy with how they come out. They look like a sort of a wise fab kit, like a professional kit, not something that I've knocked up myself. Although with a willy in it, it's probably more like a wang fab. That's pretty much it for this episode. I think in the next episode, you're going to see what we get up to with the 3-door hubs. They're already at Carlo's at the moment, and he sent me some photos of the progress that he's made so far. And yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see how he overcomes some of the issues that we've got with those hubs. But yeah, with these arms and the new modified hubs, extended steering arms, I think we're up for getting some lock on the old girl. Then we can go do some more skidding. Until next time, I'll catch up with you guys later. Take it easy.